We're rolling. How you doing today, Silas?
I'm great, David. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for doing the podcast.
You're welcome.
I've got the pleasure of to meet you several times doing different media things.
Yep, that's a fact.
Yeah, so you guys opened up 3 months ago, you said, right?
So we opened on March 6th, yes.
Okay, and it's been crazy since then.
It's been crazy since then. First couple of weeks were a little, what are we doing? where are the people that are supposed to be here ordering stuff? Well, yeah, slowly but steadily we've been getting very busy.
That's a good problem to have.
It's a wonderful problem to have, yep. I just turned 50 last summer, so my body's not in the shape that it should be for as much running around as I do, but it's been worth it and definitely fun.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine. I mean, it's a whole different experience from what you were doing before, right?
Yes.
I mean, you were working in the construction world,
Yep.
correct?
Residential construction, working for Mayberry Homes. Yep. I did that for 10 and a half years.
So you were building brand new homes.
Yes, correct.
What was that like?
Busy.
Did you enjoy doing it?
I did. I enjoyed the learning part of it, as far as how to hang a hood, how to install fridges, how to do this, how to do that. And I started as a grunt laborer, picking up wood scraps from guys. Just the framers just throw stuff everywhere.
Can you drag that closer?
Yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
Oops. So picking up scraps and sweeping houses and doing insulation preps, stuff like that. And then I got to be assistant manager at some point, maybe 4 or 5 years into it. I was started in Midland, and because they had a bunch of houses, there was they were doing who's the big company up there? They make great stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't know. I can't even.
I'm not in that world, I guess.
Dow Chemical.
Oh, okay.
I pulled a brain fart on that one. Anyway, so I was up there for 2 years. I was living at my mom's lake house. I was commuting an hour back and forth to work every day. It was just to do. It was a really good job. They started me off at a fair wage, and did that for 2 years. It got slowed down up there. They had to lay a bunch of people off at Dow, so then they brought me back here to Lansing a couple years later. I did the same thing for 2 more years, and then they made me assistant manager, and then I worked my way all the way up to supervisor, and I wasn't a fan of that.
Just too many things to worry
It's
about.
too many hours, and it's too many. You're dealing with too many people. You're trying to build 10 houses at a time, and I just couldn't handle that in my brain. And Saturdays and Sundays, there's constant emails and what about this? What about this? Can we do a change order here? Can we do this? It's like, yeah, you can do that. Give me some time and let me figure it out. And then I kind of slid. I bowed out of that one. I wasn't happy doing that. It was just too much for me. And then I started helping another guy named Dave. He's my good buddy now. He's like a skilled tradesman. Like he can do anything that a house needs. I mean, from hanging tall bars, I just learned so much from him. And then we worked tag team together on every house. So we didn't have to do any warranty, any service. We just went in, make sure the houses were tight, installed the hoods, installed the fridges, stuff like that. And then I did that until I quit. So
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that part for?
I did that for about 4 or 5 years, I think.
Okay.
We worked together.
Do you miss it?
I miss him.
Yeah.
He's a really good dude. He loves to fish and he hunts just like I do, and he's just a normal, regular, cool guy,
That's cool.
Yep.
That's something that a lot of people don't know how to do anymore is skill trades.
Yes.
It's a dying need.
Yes.
Or not a dying need. We're in need of it.
We are.
I had a lady on the podcast. Her name she was at that speaking engagement.
Okay.
Her name's Debbie Romaine, and she.
I remember her.
Yeah, she
I
promotes.
think I caught a glimpse of your podcast too. Just only a couple of minutes. I recognized her face. I was like, hey.
She looks familiar.
She looks familiar. Oh, I met her at Sexton High School. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and that's one thing she talked a lot about is that there's a huge need for people in skill trades
for sure.
And it's unfortunate.
They don't teach it to you in high school, and unless you actually go to college or do.
Well, they push you to go to college.
Yeah,
they don't want you to go.
But you gotta want to do it. It's like it's not they don't market it anywhere. Like, hey, come learn how to do this.
Right.
Well,
it doesn't look appealing. Like you look like you have to work hard.
You do. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you do definitely have to work hard. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. I mean, you get something out of it every day. They definitely pay you fair. I mean, it's a skilled position.
Yeah.
So it's not, you're not bagging groceries,
And you learn a lot, and you can apply all of that to your home life, like things you do at home, and you can eventually go and open up your own business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that helped me out tremendously with Graze Craze because I had all the, building aspect of it. So I didn't do the framing part of it, but I did all the painting. I did all the demo. I ripped up all the carpet. I chewed off all the glue from the carpet.
Wow.
Yep. So
yeah, I mean, it comes in handy in every aspect almost.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah, I'm more of like a self-taught person.
Yeah.
I've taught myself how to do a lot of things. Like around the house. I bought the house and I'm like, well, I need to do this. I just need to learn how to do it.
Exactly.
And so I just YouTube it.
Yep. I don't have to YouTube it. I just pretty much
know.
I got the handyman thing down. So
right.
Something goes wrong at our house, I know exactly what to do and how to do it. So
that's important.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
From Mayberry for teaching me that stuff. So.
I could imagine. So did they pay for you to go to like schooling or anything? How did you learn?
No. So there was a guy named Nick, and so I worked my very first week there. I worked with him for a week. He showed me how to do installation preps, clean up, all that stuff. And then I worked at my second week on the job. I worked with a guy named Dave, my Dave, another Dave. And he taught me what my Dave does in a week.
Wow.
Which, I couldn't learn that. But it was like installing toilet paper holders, paper towel holders, stuff like that. Stuff it doesn't take too long to pick it up, and then you got to measure everything, do this and do that. So I did that for 2 weeks, and then they're like, okay, go to Midland. You're on your own.
Really?
But I did have to do some towel bars, stuff like that, but it was mostly clean up and installation preps, things like that.
Wow.
Go get lumber for this guy, run short,
run
to DeWitt lumber, go pick up siding for this guy, deliver it,
Right.
So.
Wow. So it was all hands-on for the most part.
Hands-on, 100%. Yep.
Wow.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly the best way to learn, at least for me, is hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn a lot quicker.
You really do.
When you're on your own. You ask a couple questions, you remember things way better,
Especially if you're
forced and focused, you're like, oh.
Yeah, if you know you're going to be on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do this.
And then after a year, you pretty much run the gamut of what's going to come in front of you, so you've got a gist of what's coming up, and you kind of can handle it from there. So.
Right. Why didn't you start a business in that field, the construction realm?
So when we started thinking about Graze Craze, I wanted to do something fun. Lindsay wanted to do something fun. And for some reason I had it in my mind we wanted to do it with food. I don't know. So we contacted a franchise guy, and he set us in front of 10 different ideas, and we just kept going back and forth, which one bites you in the boo-boo, which one doesn't. And it just kept coming back to Graze Craze because we'd never heard of it. There's not one around here. So
where's the closest location? I know that there's one in Grand Rapids now, and then obviously the one in Lansing, your guys's.
Yep, Tom and Julie, they're in Grand Rapids. I think they bought 2 stores. That they opened their first one the same day we did, March 6th. The first one to open in Michigan was Shelby Township, which is a little bit northwest of Detroit.
Okay.
So Jessica and Mike, we've all become friends. I mean, we're branded together, right? So. And Lindsay talks to them all the time as far as, they have questions or we have questions, we just kind of contact them. We do have a BA, a business advisor through Graze Craze. He's located in Pittsburgh. So it's a phone call. It's not really a, hey, come help,
Right.
We got 12 large boards due tomorrow at noon. Are you going to come and, oh, no. Okay.
So when you buy into a franchise, what is that process like? Like, do you have to adhere to a lot of their rules and the way their processes, the way they do things, or can you, as a independent business, kind of do your own thing and with their name?
Yes. So with that, it's Graze Craze there's no official corporate stores. So United Franchise Group, we're under the umbrella of them. They do Sinorama. They do a lot of things outside of the food industry.
Okay.
They do the Great Greek, which is in the food industry. They have another pizza one that's coming up too. I can't remember the name of it because it's like we just learned about it last week at that brand expo down in Florida. But UFG is located in Florida, West Palm. So that's where
I'm from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful area.
It is.
Yeah.
I got to go deep sea fishing for a little bit too. But anyways, that's off topic. So like if I was to buy a Taco Bell, I got to follow the rules, right? With this being locally owned and operated, no corporate stores, if I want to sell wallets out of the front, I could. It's like they can't say, don't do that. That's probably not I wouldn't do that. But you know what I mean? They're not going to come down on us or penalize us for doing something like that.
Right.
And there's a retail option, a button option on the POS system where if we did have something that we wanted to sell in there, whether it was vases or, something similar to charcuterie, if you will. I don't know. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to, they do have a system for us. So all the guides are there and all the ingredients are there and the recipes are there. It's great.
So you could sell your own like cutting boards and or charcuterie boards.
If we wanted to do that,
yeah.
You know, if we were super slow and didn't have, you know, had the time to do that and wanted to get down creative avenues where we could try to make more money. But I think it's going pretty well just following what they taught us. And it's all about the customer service in this business and having a positive attitude at work. You know, we've created a culture with our employees that I think is very important. And that's been working very strong for us. So that when we do go to Florida and we have a record sales week, we were gone for 4 days of that week. The team handled it.
Wow.
Brilliantly, by the way. We have great employees.
That's awesome.
Yep.
How many employees do you have now? I know that when I came in before, I think you guys had like 4 and you were working on hiring more.
Yeah. So we started with 3 originally. And then we started getting busier and busier. And then not all of them could work weekends. So I was like, we're getting slammed on Saturdays. Let's get some more people in here. So we hired 2 more. So now we're at 5. And tomorrow we have another new one, Morgan.
Wow.
She's coming in tomorrow at 10 a.m. for her first day of training. So now we have 6.
Wow.
So down in Florida, when you go through the 2-week business training before the 2-week in-store training that they gave us up here in the store, they're like, yeah, you only need 1 or 2 employees. And, you know, you'll be fine. It's like, no, I need more employees. I can't do this by myself. I can't.
On average, do other stores have like 2 employees?
Or none.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just the owners?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think as the brand grows, and it will, so I think there's 38 stores nationwide open right now. There's 53 in production. They've signed they're doing Graze Craze and they're doing their build out and whatever else they need to do before they open. There's 53 of those. And then there's 100 more coming next year.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's a cool story about the Pacific Bell guys. They own like 407 units of like Taco Bells, and I think I told you this before, but anyways, Taco Bells, and I think it's Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
I think it's a group of like four guys, and they were at the expo. We got to meet them. Super cool dudes,
Wow.
Totally chill, just normal guys, right? But they saw this and they bought the rights to the whole state of Oregon for Graze Craze and Vegas. They bought Vegas.
Whoa.
So if you go to Vegas and you see Graze Craze everywhere, then you come back to Okemos, you're like, hey, Graze Craze, right? So, but yeah, so there's tons of more stores coming, and then also we met at the expo a lady named Amy. She's from Sydney, Australia. So now we're going global.
Wow.
And there's another couple that bought a couple of stores in France.
Holy cow.
So we got Australia and France on the books.
So this is relatively a new franchise, right? Would that be considered a company?
I have never heard of another franchise concept charcuterie board.
That's wild.
Store.
That's wild.
That's why we liked it so much. We're like, okay,
nobody's done
new.
it.
Yeah, nobody's done it.
That's also scary.
It's very scary. It's very scary. But we know Danielle Mays. She owns Amazing Graze.
Oh, okay.
She's really good at
Is that in Lansing?
Doing charcuterie. I think she's out of Lansing.
Okay.
I think she actually lives in Okemos. I think she does live in Okemos. But we contacted her to be friends with her. It's a completely different business model, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different, like she does her thing, amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's why she calls it Amazing Graze. We do our thing. We can pump them out quicker, more, they're still beautiful boards.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
It's just a different business model, if you will. So
what's the difference between yours and hers?
I think I don't know if she has employees or she hires other people to help her sometimes if she does have big parties and stuff like that.
Does she have like a location?
I don't think so.
No, she does it out of her home.
Yeah. I think she does it out of her home, and she also will like come to your house and like if you want certain things put here, not even on trays or boards. I don't want to speak to what she does business-wise. I don't know.
Right.
I just know it's different than what we do.
Right.
So,
well, I mean,
she's been into the store. She came to the grand opening. She's been a big supporter of us. She's thrown business our way when people get a hold of her. She's thrown a lot of business our way, actually.
Wow.
So we're very appreciative of that. And we've given her, too. Like, people ask all the time, do you guys do classes? No. Danielle does. Give her your card. And,
wow.
Yeah. So she's got business from us as well.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I think is so cool about the Lansing area is like, even though somebody has a business that's similar to theirs, they still help out the other businesses that are, I guess, would technically be considered competition.
Right.
Like, that's how Saddleback was helping Capital City Barbecue. And then, I mean, there's been so many other businesses too.
Right.
It's
I
important.
don't want enemies. I want friends.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I'm not here to battle.
Well, not everybody wants Graze
we're
Craze all the
different.
time, right?
Right,
And not everybody
exactly.
wants Amazing Graze. Is Amazing Grace a Graze?
It's Graze. Her last name
Graze.
is Mays, Mayes. So it's
Yeah.
Amazing Graze.
That's clever.
Clever. Very clever.
That is very clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important for businesses in Lansing, especially because Lansing's not that big, so it's easy to have.
Right.
It's easy to have that competition, but it's also easy to just help each other out,
Yeah.
which is
Why
cool.
not? I'm not here to battle.
Yeah,
I don't want drama. I don't want to deal with the BS. Please.
makes you more successful when you're not worried about that, anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what we do. Like Lindsay's a master marketer, so we've people just been coming in out of the woodwork, and we've taken tons of deliveries down to the Senate buildings, tons of deliveries to Michigan State already. So we're getting out there. And
She's definitely good at marketing. I'm
definitely
always
good at
seeing
marketing.
Graze Craze stuff all over Facebook. I'm like, oh, there's another one.
Yep.
There's another one. Like they were here.
Keep it
they
in
were
your
there.
brain. We're still here.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slap them in the face 8 to 10 times, I think, until they're like, well, I'll give it a shot then. All right, let's see how it is.
Yep.
So
She also has a full-time job, right?
she does. She still works for Mayberry.
Wow.
She works for Mayberry. She works from home. She does human resources. She's the marketing director. And then for us, she's the marketing director as well and does all the back end stuff, all the computer, all the payroll, stuff like that. And then I just do the in-store owner, operator, manager type stuff. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
We're learning.
How
Still
many?
fun.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, everything. As long as you're willing to go into it with an open mind and you learn and you learn from your mistakes and you can, progress, then it's all fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the minute you start stressing and getting worried, then it's not.
So
fun.
that's the highs and the lows with it. Was in the first couple 2-3 weeks we didn't have a ton of business, and then we started ramping up, and then we had our grand opening. We're like, bam, okay, and then it kind of trickled off a little bit, and then the weekend started getting busy, and then the corporate stuff starts coming in, which is fantastic.
Well, it's also like open house season and like wedding season, all that stuff. So that helps too, right?
Absolutely. So one of the things that impressed us about Graze Craze before we decided to buy was the motto was celebrate everything, right? So you're doing anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, weddings, corporate stuff, holidays for sure. So, I mean, there's just so many things to celebrate, right?
Right.
Let's do it with a charcuterie board.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy and it's easy picking.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can set it out, at your venue, as long as it's not direct sunlight for 4 to 5 hours. I mean, that's perfect. People can just come and graze on it. That's what it's for. Grazing tables. We do these big, long tables with just board after board after board. We've done quite a few of those lately. They look beautiful. People can choose what they want. They can eat when they want.
Wow.
So
I know that when I talked to you last, you guys said that you had a contract with a gym in Lansing, right? Or in East Lansing.
no, so we had talked to Nicole at the MAC.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
And so are you guys in other places now? Or like can somebody go there and buy your stuff?
So there's one place that we are, and she's in DeWitt. Her name's Nicolette. It's Twisted Craft Cocktails.
Never heard of it.
She's right off Main Street, kind of right. If you're going, you know where Relly's is?
Yep.
Directly across the street. She's
Okay.
right in that corner. Great lady. Super smart. She's all about business. She loves what we do. And so we do up 3 of these cups and 3 of those little grab and grazes. And we'll deliver them up there, and then she sells them through her store.
Wow.
Yep. So that's the first one that we've actually kind of just satellited a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Have you guys thought about like the Meyer downtown or anything like that?
So that's funny you mentioned that, because we went to the Olive Burger festival yesterday. I think that was the first ever annual.
Yeah.
So yeah. Erin Brains, she's the head of the Lansing Foodies there. They're great people. Then she's been in quite a few times. They came to our grand opening, which is very special for us. We definitely want to be a part of the Foodies, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry, what was your question? Back to the
Meyer.
Oh, the Meyer. So yes, she mentioned that somebody knows the guy that runs that Meyer Marketplace or whatever it's called.
Okay.
And that he would be interested in having us sell some stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, it'd
we're
be perfect.
We're definitely gonna check it out. I mean, we'll dive down that hole and see what we come up with. But
yeah. Like places like Horrocks and Meyer.
It's just kind of hard because with what we do, you don't want to, like, we put bread and crackers and pretty much, that stuff gets soft if you refrigerate it too long.
Right.
So then
it has to be fresh.
So with the Twisted Cocktail place, we send extra bread and crackers. So if she doesn't sell it right away, then she can just give them the little zip lock with the 2 fresh crackers or the 2 pieces of bread and crackers.
Right.
So, because we don't want them to have a bad experience.
No.
Right? So you want it fresh. Everything else you can refrigerate it, the hummus, all the fruits, veggies, meats, cheese, and stuff like that. But yeah, for the bread and the crackers, you want it fresh.
Now, when you guys opened the business, what were your expectations? Were you expecting for it to take off? What were your thoughts? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys had some fear and doubt and excitement. What was
all of that?
Yeah,
for sure. And it's a new business. Like, who knows? Like, even UFG doesn't know down in Florida. They can tell you what they think they know, but they don't have a super successful store that's slamming it. Right. Yet.
Right.
So I think we're going to be probably one of those stores that is like that, because we've already been like that in the first 3.5 months that we were open. But credit that to Lindsay she's been planting seeds for 9 months now.
Yeah.
We signed with Graze Craze in July, August. I mean, we documented everything from day one of the demo. Like, if I'm pulling carpet, we're taking pictures of it. I'm pulling up the glue, we're taking pictures of it. Just document it. She made a special Facebook page for it. It was a private group. Right, over 1,000 members on that group now, because people wanted to take that journey with us. People were asking, "How's the store coming? How's the store coming?" Just join this group, and you can just check out the photos on a daily basis. And it makes them feel special, which is great, and it brings them along with us for the ride.
Yeah. Well, and you guys had media appearances even before the place was open, because I remember seeing something on the news or like an article. It was like last year, and I'm like, where's it? When's this place opening up? Like, and then I seen it again later on. I'm like, this place still isn't open up, but I've been seeing it like consistently. And then all of a sudden, you guys are open. I'm like, oh, hey, it's open.
Yeah. And that was funny. We saw you at Sexton too. He's like, yeah, I've been following you guys. I'm like, who are you? Who's this guy? You've been following us. Like, I don't do the social media thing. That's all her. We actually won an award at I think it was most outstanding social media presence.
Really?
And it had my name on there with hers, and I was like, oh, I absolutely have zero to do with that, right? I felt so bad, but we're a team and we do it together. But she's really good at marketing. She loves doing it. She loves getting us out there. People are recognizing it, and it's paying off.
Yeah.
But like I said, we've been planting seeds for 9 months, and now we're open, and it's
spiking
and quicker than what I expected.
Yeah.
So. It's a bad problem to have, really bad, right?
It definitely is a bad problem.
Yeah.
Now, when you go to something like that expo in Florida, what kind of things do you learn? What do they talk about? What is the event
that was
about?
really cool, because she's all over the Facebook stuff and all that. She's talked to a lot of these other Graze Craze owners. I really haven't. We get phone calls because we're like the model store where they're still trying to sell Graze Crazes, right? So there's a guy that Paul Scales, he works down in Indianapolis area. He'll bring people up from wherever to our store. Check it out. Talk to me. Is it fun? Absolutely. You making money? Yes, we are. Just different questions, kind of get them over the hump to buy more Graze Crazes, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, with the Florida thing, I got sidetracked. Sorry.
You're good.
It's Sunday. So this is my one day off.
No, mine too. I completely understand. That's why it's hard for me to prepare questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I work all week. And then when you're doing the podcast, it's like, it doesn't necessarily flow the way you want it to, because you get talking about something. You're like, oh,
I was like, oh shoot, what was the original question?
I was asking about the expo in Florida.
Oh yeah. So meeting the other business owners, that was great for me.
Yeah.
Some of them they're struggling. So if whatever we kind of business advice we can give them, I definitely told them, have that culture with your employees. It's so important to have. I've had horrible managers in my day. That's not what we're going to do here. It's going to be positive. You can listen to music. We want to keep it as laid back as possible, right?
Yeah.
Just keep them happy. And the other thing
that's the most important thing for an employer and an employee is to make sure your employees are happy. Because if they're not happy, then they don't care what happens, especially with food.
Yeah.
I just had a really bad experience at actually I don't want to say the name, but it was a local restaurant.
What does it rhyme with? I'm just
I will say that it was like a brewery, and it was terrible. It was a terrible experience. We went there. We had never been there before, and there was no like please seat yourself sign or anything. We just stood around waiting. Like, do we seat ourselves or do we wait for somebody to seat us. And finally somebody came over and like, you can sit down. So we sat down, and then we ordered pizza for my kids. My wife and I ordered burgers. The burgers came out before the pizza, and I forgot. The appetizer came out after the burgers.
Come on.
And so after we got our burgers, I'm like, hey, we ordered an appetizer. And he's like, oh, you didn't specify that you wanted that before the burger. I'm like, it was an appetizer. Yeah. I thought you eat appetizers before.
Pre-meal, right?
Right. And then so we get our food, I get the burger, bite into the burger, and I pull out this chunk of plastic.
Oh.
It was like either the plastic that went on the meat or the cheese. I don't know what it was. But I put it down. I was like, I don't want this. Mm-mm. And I'm done. I want the bill. Yeah. This is ridiculous.
I wouldn't even have paid the bill. I've been like, dude.
He took it off the bill. He took the burger off the bill, but I paid for the rest. So, yeah, it was a terrible experience.
So you won't be going back there.
I definitely would not be going back. But what's sad about it is like I try to support local business. Sure. Like whenever we go out to eat, I try to go to a local place. Mainly because like we don't go out to eat all that often. So like I want to support local. Yeah, and this place was terrible.
Yeah.
So then I like go online, and once I get home and I look at the reviews, and I didn't leave one, but I should have. But I read all the reviews, and they're complaining about the same thing. I'm like, how do people like that say?
Management.
Yeah, how do they
horrible
stay?
Management.
And they have like several locations. I'm like, how do they stay in business? I don't understand.
That's one thing I like about Graze Craze is that we don't have fryers, we don't have hoods.
You don't have to worry about it.
We don't go home smelling like grease. We have normal business hours, right? Like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Right.
Even though we've gotten some big orders where we have to come in at 4 to get the delivery by 7. Just by appointment stuff. Anyways, yeah, we don't go home smelling like grease. We're not beat, dead tired. We go home during the daylight. So,
Yeah, so it's like clean. You feel clean.
It's like a way cleaner process. I don't have 50 employees that
right.
Where that's not what we do.
You guys have like
one of the reasons we picked Graze Craze was 1 or 2 employees. Yeah, great. Well, so we need 6. Okay, but it's still
right.
Well,
and you all have one goal, right? Like it's not like you're running a restaurant where you're having to serve this person, serve alcohol to that person, like throw stuff in the fryer, like where things are just crazy all the time.
Yeah.
Like you literally are just building charcuterie boards or these cups, or like you guys are like working as a team to accomplish one goal.
Correct.
Which is
So when it comes to like the prep, it's like we're looking at strawberries like, that's not board or quality. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest decision of that board. Like, that's strawberries. You know what I mean? It's like, okay.
So where do you guys get your stuff from? Do you have like a supplier? Do you go to local like food markets? Or?
So we do have a produce alliance, and then we also have a food source. I don't want to throw out names.
Yeah.
We switch from one to another.
Okay.
And during that transition, I've had trouble getting items. So if I'm forced to go to somewhere else local to get it, I'll have to do that.
Wow.
So, and that's been a kind of a problem as we, you guys aren't ordering enough. Well, you don't have what I want. So, it's like, okay. So they're working on that, and that's a UFG thing. We don't have to really deal with that other than I'm in store and have to find a replacement or go get it myself, which I'll do. It's not a big deal. But
how hard is it to get the things fresh? Is it difficult?
It's not hard at all.
No,
not hard at all. And the stuff that we get, like the meats and cheese, that's from a different source. So, and that stuff's good in the fridge for 6 months. It's cured meats, right?
Yeah.
So when I can get it, I stock up on it as much as I can so that next week when I can't get it, I'm not screwed.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think my biggest problem with working at Graze Craze would be trying to not eat the meat.
I struggle with that sometimes as well.
When I'm cutting up things in the kitchen, I just want to like pop a piece of sausage or something in my mouth.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the benefits of owning a restaurant, I guess. But just like anything else, it's not like I can go in there every day and I'm like,
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
When I'm hankering for it, I'll have some, if you will. I mean, I can imagine working at like a McDonald's every day. It's like, no.
I worked at McDonald's. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
I would not want to eat that stuff every day.
Well, I did, because you got free meals.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'd always get like I don't remember what I get, like a McChicken or something.
Yeah. I do like McChickens. Anyways, so with the food thing, I'm not even all about I love our cheeses, like the meats,
Yeah.
They're great, but I would rather have one of our hummuses with some carrots. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do the healthy thing as well sometimes, more often than not.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have we do our own in-house hummuses, as you know, dips, jams, stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff's so good.
Yeah, so I'll grab a piece of bread with our cottage cheese dill dip, and I'll go to town on that instead of loading up on meats and cheeses.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. Now, and you guys have different options. We talked about it before, but you have the keto one, you have like a veggie one, and you have a carnivore one too, right?
So we do the classic one, which is your basic meats, cheese, bread, crackers.
Yeah.
Brie cheese is on there. There's goat cheese on there. There's sliced cracker cheese on there. We do have premium cheeses that you can upgrade to. We have premium meats that you can upgrade to.
So you can completely customize these.
You can with upgrades. We do like 5 or 6 different premium cheeses where I upsell them because they're delicious. They add color and texture to the board, right? And it's cheap. It's $4.50 for 3 ounces. 3 ounces of cheese in a pile. It's a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that, and then after the classic one, then we do the keto, which is your carb conscious people. There's no carrots, there's no bread, there's no crackers on the board, and then we go down to the veggie grazing, which is our veggie board, and then we do the sweet and grazy, which is our dessert board that has tons of fresh fruits. There's a crowned orange on there with orange slices. There's crowned kiwi with kiwi slices. There's grapes, strawberries, and then the unhealthy side of that board would be the brownies, the lemon bars, and the pound cake garnished with honey, pistachios, and the other ones garnished with caramel sauce. So,
oh, that sounds so good.
And it is.
Yeah, I need to try that one. Yeah. That one sounds really good. Yeah. So what are your goals for Graze Craze? Obviously, you guys are 3 months in. You're just trying to figure things out. But like, what is the ultimate goal? I mean, you guys are becoming a staple in the community. I see you guys everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously all over social media, but you guys are sponsoring like baseball game. I seen your sign at like a baseball field.
Get it out there, man. Get it out there. We get ourselves out there as well. Like we're going to the we went to the Olive Burger Festival.
You guys were sponsors of that too.
We sponsored that, yeah, absolutely. Which was the coolest thing ever when you look up at the big screen at the Lugnut Stadium and Graze Craze is on there.
Yeah.
Right? It's like hey, you know. And the guy behind us, we were talking to him for a while, and he's like, "Hey, you're up on this." And it's fun too because I was at Myers, and you get recognized. You're like,
yeah.
And some lady was at the burger festival, and she was just sitting there. Lindsay walked by with her burgers. She saw our shirts, and she's like, "You guys are here?" I looked at Lindsay. I said, "Yeah, we're here. I'm right here." She's like, "No, you're here." "Yeah, I'm here." "No, you're here." "No." "Oh, I see what you mean." "No, Graze Craze is not here. Lindsay and I are." She thought we had a booth at the Olive Burger Festival, which is what I finally figured out.
Yeah.
But she knew us. I didn't know her. I'd never seen her before. So yeah, it's getting out there in the community. We go to the chamber mixers, get the name out there, get our faces out there. Yeah, we try to be wherever we can with something. The Convention Bureau, that's another one that we've done a lot of things with.
Okay,
they're great people, and that's great marketing for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What is that like though, being recognized? I mean, because
it's fun.
You seem like a pretty private person. Like you've always been kind of
very
private,
very
and then
private.
now
and
you're
Lindsay is too. We are two by nature introverts. Seriously. So that first 2 weeks down in Florida, where they kind of run you through the gamut of running your business, they get up on stage like day 2. They're like, "Hey, we need you to everybody to come in tomorrow and do a 60-second commercial for your business on stage."
Ooh.
I didn't sleep that night. I was like, "Are you kidding me? On stage in front of all 14 of these people? Like that's a big deal, right?"
14 people though. It's almost.
And they're all Graze Craze people. They're learning the same thing we are. Well,
right.
There was 1 or 2 Sinorama ones in there, but it was like I was so nervous to do that. And it's getting easier. Like I'm a podcast version. This is my first podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm not nervous about it. I'm just gonna be myself.
No, you're pretty chill.
Yeah, but we don't go out and hey, look at that. Do it the right way. Be transparent with your business. Tell people about it. Know about your business. But get your face out there. Get your ass out there and meet people.
Yeah.
And, care about other people.
Right.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
And we do.
Yeah, and it's cool when people can put a face to the name.
Yeah.
Because then they'd be like, "Oh, I met that guy, and he was really nice."
Yeah. That's the fun part. We're like, I'm sorry, I don't. I mean, I've met 5,000 people in the last 3 months, right? And I try to remember all these names. Some I do. Unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad about, but it's like, hey, faces. I'm real good at faces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But you get recognized. It's kind of fun. Like
yeah, it's definitely.
But driving around that Graze Craze car all day, It probably seems like we're everywhere. Like, oh, they're everywhere. Just me in the car. And I wear my shirt to Myers. It's like, oh, hey.
Hey, it's free advertisement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always go branded. You're a fool if you didn't.
Yeah.
You know the business, brand it. Get it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people don't like it when you do that. They're like, oh, really? You're wearing your own stuff?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, right.
Like, this is my shirt.
Yeah.
This is Fries and Above Apparel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you have to brand your own stuff.
For sure.
I mean, and you have to promote yourself. You can't be afraid to, because nobody else is going to.
Nope.
Especially when you're a small business, nobody cares about you.
Nope.
People just they like you for a moment and then they forget about you.
Yeah.
If you don't promote yourself.
Yeah.
And so you just got to do it.
That's why we do the white glove concierge service as far as, customer service. I try to remember names. I remember people's faces, and I'll, be honest about it. Be transparent, right? And just, if they know that you care about them, they're going to care about you and your business.
Right.
So I didn't get into this business for the money. I wanted to not kill my body anymore.
You wanted to have fun.
Humping fridges. I wanted to have fun. And my biggest thing, and I told Lindsay, was I want to see people smile. So when people come into the store and they look at the board I set up there and they're like, oh my God, that looks just like the website. I'm like, yeah, this isn't McDonald's, right? This is what we do. This is, and then and my favorite tagline is, and wait till you taste it, because it tastes even better than it looks, right?
Yeah.
So you can testify to that with the hummuses and everything
Absolutely.
we do in-house with the dips and the jams and the special recipes. It's great. So when you see somebody smile, that makes me smile. That makes me want to open up and be, so.
Do you foresee you guys opening another location?
That's a tough one. Yes. To be honest, yes.
Yeah.
We don't know where yet. We don't know where.
Would it be in Michigan?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But our delivery rate is, so anything over $50 we'll deliver for free. We did a 20-mile radius. That's all of Lansing. I've taken some to St. John's.
Wow.
That's 20 miles, right? From the store. Way past Mason. We delivered, it's 21 miles to Eaton Rapids, which is where we live.
Right. So it would have
there.
to be outside of that somewhere.
We still, whatever. Some lady called and so between Shelby and us, there was, I can't remember where it was, but Lindsay took a delivery. It was for a surprise birthday party. It was like 3 or 4 large boards, which made it worth us drive an hour and a half to take it there.
Wow.
But she charged them $100 for delivery, which is fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they loved it. So, but I don't know store wise, if we did put one in Lansing, I would probably go north. It's either going to be north or west. It'd be towards the Grand Ledge area, the DeWitt area. Okay.
Grand Ledge would be a great location.
Yes.
DeWitt would be
DeWitt would be too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where Nicolette's at with the Twisted Craft cocktails, right?
Oh,
so it's when we got the little satellite thing going now. People don't want to drive to Okemos and come get it or whatever.
Right.
They can just stop in there and at least try it.
Right. Yeah, even if you could place an order online and pick up at that location.
And that's where we're getting.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. That would make it like a true satellite, drop off,
right.
zone for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you been to the west side of Lansing recently?
Yes.
I don't go over there very often, but I was over there just the other day and I'm like, wow, this is built, they're building it up. It's really nice. On the outskirts of Lansing and going into Grand Ledge right there, where the marketplace is.
Yeah.
It's holy cow. They have BJ's over there. They're building other stuff and Olive Garden, a bunch of things.
Yep. There's a Culver's there now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff over there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, yeah, I've been everywhere doing these deliveries, so I've pretty much seen all of Lansing in the past 3 months. You just never know, where you're going to go.
Right. So being a new business owner, because you've never owned a business prior to Graze Craze, right?
No.
So being a new business owner and opening up this store, right? Not restaurant.
I don't know, but we're kind of in between.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that turned us on about Graze Craze. We're not dining.
Yeah.
We don't have to have waitresses and waiters and table clearers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pick up, delivery.
I do have to say, it would be awesome if you guys had a patio set up.
Yeah, we talked about that too. Leaf has their little thing, and then I don't know. People give us ideas all the time, but there's a certain fine line with so we're right next to Vine and Brew. Awesome guys in there. They know their stuff. They did a wine pairing for us. We gave them a small board for free and said, "Hey, pair this with some wines, would you? Then Lindsay made up the flyer. You can come pick one up in the store to pair your wines with any kind of board that you get.
That's cool.
But there's a fine line between if we had a patio and then they're out there drinking and, you know what I mean? They want to eat the board outside and then they want their wine with it.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, I was just thinking like as like a picnic type thing. Like you go in there, grab lunch or whatever and sit there.
No, I get it.
But no, yeah, I get that. I was going to ask a question. I remember. Oh yeah. So since you opened this, started the business and have learned a tremendous amount of things, what has been the most significant thing that you've learned as a new business owner?
Oh, like food wise, employee wise,
anything.
So many things.
What is the most impactful thing that you've learned? Let's just go with like people wise. Like
people wise,
like working with people and employees.
I don't know. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like we went to Reno's and saw Sadie Bass. We got to meet Jesse, the owner, and I don't know if that's really impactful on my brain though. That's just the fun side of the business.
Yeah.
Definitely just, I don't know. I always like to talk about my employees. Like that's really important to me. And that sticks in my brain where I wanted to make sure that culture in the store always is going to be like that. I don't want any negativity coming in there. I don't want any, you know what I mean?
What do you do to help promote that? I mean, other than like let him listen to music and things like that. Like,
so we listen to music. I don't think I've turned off. I need this day off. You know, we work around it.
Yeah.
And then another big part of it would be with the tips. So we get tips, obviously, because of what we do. And some of them are pretty substantial. Lindsay and I don't touch the tips. They all go to the employees.
Wow.
So on a weekly basis, each hour worked is worth a certain amount of extra tips. So you're going from what we pay the base to another $5 to $6 an hour.
Wow.
That includes those tips.
So they just split them.
So they love that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that keeps them engaged, keeps them involved, keeps them liking what they're doing.
Right.
With the positive culture and the music and the, you know.
Plus they're out of work at a decent time and they don't have to work Sundays, right?
Yep.
You guys are closed on Sundays.
Sundays by appointment only.
Okay.
So we did promote. Her name is Rachel. She's great. And we promoted her to assistant manager so that she's kind of running things when I can't be at the store or I'm on a delivery or whatever, or I need a day off, which good luck with that. Right. So, yeah, we promoted her and she came in today because I was coming to do this because one lady had requested a large board and she said, I'll just go in and make it and just take it to her. I said, okay. Right. So that's the culture that we've created where she wants to do that. She wants to help us out. I have to come do this. She offered to, you know, go do that.
That is so cool. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool because you're not bound by like the corporate side of things.
Right.
So you can do whatever you want.
Local mom and pop. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yep.
That's cool. Cause I mean, that's the problem with like a lot of corporate, like a lot of people don't like corporate things coming into Lansing, especially Lansing, because Lansing's so small and people pride themselves on like small businesses.
Yeah.
Like they like to support these small businesses. So when something bigger comes in, they don't want to support it. Yeah. And I'm one of them. I don't really care to like go to like I like Culver's. I go there. But but like a McDonald's or something. Like if nobody wants to go there because they know that they treat their employees like crap.
Yeah.
And so like,
well, you have your district managers, you got this manager, you got your store manager, you got the 3 shift leaders and this and that. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, if you can go to a place where you know that the employees are being treated well and that what you are buying is actually going towards somebody that lives in your community.
Yes.
Then why wouldn't you go support that?
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know,
and well, you're doing it.
Yeah. So if you have a problem or an issue and you come to the store, I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nobody up here. It's
right.
Lindsay and I, right? That's the locally owned and operated. That's the best part about that, in my opinion, where that really matters. That makes it a true small business, even though it's a franchise concept. There's no corporate stores.
Well, it's kind of like Sir Pizza, I think, because Sir Pizza is locally owned, like the one in Old Town. Mm-hmm. It's owned by somebody locally, but they're under like this corporate name,
right?
But they can do what they want.
We're the same, but we're taking what they taught us and running with it, and making it even better. So,
Well, obviously it's better than a lot of the a lot of the other locations. So
yeah, and
as far as
Lindsay and I
sales.
both know why that happens is because they're not marketing properly. You can't afford employees if you don't have the sales, right?
Right.
So Lindsay's motto is sales fixes everything,
Mm.
which is true, right? So how are you going to get the sales? You got to market. You got to be on Facebook. You got to show them the journey. You got to take them with you. Make it special because it is,
Yeah.
Don't just sit in your office with no employees crying because don't have anybody come into your store.
I think that's the hardest thing though, for small businesses is marketing. I mean, because there's so many things you have to do. I mean, especially as a business, right? If you only have like one employee or you're the owner and you're running that business, and then you also have to market on top of make all the food and deliver and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
But if you have to do all that and then market, it's almost impossible. Like you have to have somebody doing the marketing for you.
Yeah. I can see people seeing this business as a business idea and be like, oh yeah, you're going to kill it. Right.
Yeah.
Lindsay and I are a great team. I'm at the store all the time doing the production side of it. She's on the back end doing the marketing side of it.
Yep.
That's a dynamic duo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I think you need that for this business. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I couldn't.
I
do all this by myself and I almost can't.
You're doing fine, dude. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. So what do you do for marketing? Like
I do all my own stuff. I mean, I don't really pay for social media marketing, which I probably should, but I don't make a whole lot of money. So,
right.
So that would be, an expense, but I just promote on Facebook. I promote on like Lindsay does, like she promotes in the 517 all the time and some of the other groups and whatnot. I do the same thing.
Free is free, man.
It's free.
Is free.
And whether people like it or not, like they might not click on anything that day or that post, but it's still there in front of their eyes. They scroll past it. So as long as you're out there and you're putting yourself out there is the most important thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, there's really not much promotion that I do other than social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be harder for you because for me, like my marketing skills are, I'm going to make 5 of these, right? I'm going to take 5 business cards and I'm going to go deliver this to the first couple stores that I see that I know we haven't hit yet.
Right.
Not here to sell you anything, just telling you we're a new business in town. Try one of our samples.
Yeah.
Here's my card. Ever any questions, just know we're here and,
Yeah.
Tell them we're locally owned and operated. We're not a conglomerate franchise corporation.
Right.
And that's my marketing.
I mean,
it works.
Another way of marketing is doing things like this, right? Like interviewing somebody who has a business or a platform like yourself. And because then like if you post it on your Facebook pages or social media, then people see that. And then people are like, oh, what's the Rise and Above podcast?
Yeah.
So they go and check it out. So that's like another form of marketing too.
Sure.
So
Lindsay's definitely going to put this on the Facebook. So.
Yeah. She's very generous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and it's hard. Social media is hard if you don't really understand it because it changes all the time too, especially with the marketing. Marketing changes a lot. And since I've started this podcast, it's actually gotten a lot harder to like try to be seen.
Right.
So I used to make clips all the time, like from each episode. And I would post it on Facebook and like in all the groups on YouTube, like create shorts, TikTok even. That's another way to market. And those would get a lot of views. But then Facebook started cutting those down because I got to a certain point where I could start making money doing it by views. Like I had thousands of views on these clips.
Yeah.
And they're like, then they started like, I wouldn't say censoring, but it's like they wouldn't show them as much. Yeah, it's strange.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it was something
I don't understand, and
exactly, and I don't understand
over
it.
my head.
I don't understand it either. But you almost have to in order to keep up with the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah. So Lindsay's really good at it because she's been doing it for Mayberry for 20 years. So I mean, and she's done the ebbs and flows with how it changes and everything.
Does she have a degree doing it, or how did she?
She does
get into
not.
it? No,
Nope.
she just learned.
She started. Bob and Karen started Mayberry. She was right in the middle. And she started from day one with them.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I wonder what marketing was like back then. Just on the
cold
phone.
calls. Hey, need a house? Right? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what it's like now because I don't do it. My marketing is handing out samples and getting to meet people and shaking hands and getting, just getting the name out there.
And you've met a lot of prominent people doing that.
Yes.
Which is
very nice.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
It's cool to have those people in your back pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially we're geared towards the catering side, right? But we also love the walk-ins, the little grab and grazes, the cups. It's people.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
love all of it.
It's that connection.
It is.
You need to have that connection.
For sure.
And that's something you don't get with a typical 9-to-5 job that you don't necessarily like, is a connection with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is completely different. Way better, by the way.
Absolutely. Well, Silas, we've gone for 50 minutes.
Holy crap. Feels like 5.
I know.
We got 10 more.
10 more.
Right,
yeah, we can make it.
Let's do an hour.
Let's do an hour.
Cut it at 59 and get more views or something like that. I don't know the rules, but hey, we didn't talk about the food yet.
Oh yeah, so you brought pickles.
Hey. Yeah, so we do our own in-house pickles. I'll let you sample at your convenience. And then I brought you a cup. I know you've been into the store and we've spent some time together before, but you had a lone grazer.
Yeah.
You came in and did the YouTube thing for us, which we greatly appreciated. That was super fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience for me because that was actually the first time I did that. And after I did it, I wish I would have done it differently. But it was the first time.
That's all
so
right.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
It's our first time too, man. It is what it is.
I think for me, one thing I want to do is create almost like what you would consider like a television series or like a series for Lansing. So I'm big into fitness and health and eating healthy and stuff. So I think it would be beneficial and cool to go to these different maybe restaurants, gyms and whatnot, and then promote maybe what they do. Mm-hmm. But in each episode, I'd have maybe 3 to 4 locations that I would go to.
Right.
And I wish I would have done
like a half an hour type thing.
Yeah.
Like a show.
Right. Like a show. Okay. Have somebody film it, and I'm kind of touring this place, maybe sampling their food and whatnot, and just go to these different locations and do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Keep us on your list if you ever want to come back.
I will. Yeah, definitely. You guys are one of my favorite restaurant or businesses. Okay. It's not really a restaurant. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like a hybrid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like when we were getting our inspections before we opened, they're like, "So, restaurant? Are you this? Are you that?" It's like I don't know what we are.
Right.
And they didn't know either. So we didn't even have to have an HVAC inspection because all I had to do was move the thermostat.
Wow.
So we didn't have to run any more chases. Nothing.
That makes it so simple.
Yeah, it was. It was framing, electrical, flooring, plumbing. I painted everything and ripped everything out of there and demoed a bunch of walls and stuff. Other than that, hung a toilet paper holder. Right? Got plenty of experience doing that. So yeah, and we were the general contractors on it too with our experience through construction. So that saved us a bunch of money.
That's really cool.
Other people don't have that luxury. And then some of those Graze Craze people, I know that they just have to pay for everything. And then they're trying to do it by themselves. It's like, oh, man.
Well, and that probably cuts down on being able to hire people, right?
For sure.
When you got to pay for all those upfront costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
if you don't plant the seeds like Lindsay did 9 months ago, you know what I mean? When are they going to grow?
Right.
So
she should almost maybe start marketing for Graze Craze like the corporate or whatever.
There's some other things coming, maybe possibly. There's going to be like an ad fund team, if you will. So we pool a bunch of money, so this will be like when we go national, probably like when it's a nationally recognized brand. Okay. So everybody's chipping in this 2% or whatever it is to the ad fund, and then there's going to be a council. She's definitely going to be on that council.
She should be.
The brand president said, and if you don't sign up for it, Lindsay, I'm putting you in there regardless because you're, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, she's obviously really good at it, and she has done it for years, and it's played into your guys' success so far. So
for sure.
Yeah.
It is our success, other than, quality food and treating people properly.
And your awesome employees.
And our awesome employees.
Yeah.
Could not do without them.
You can't. Yeah. No, you need help. You need awesome help.
You do.
And that's something
they go above and beyond. It's like,
You treat them well, and then they want to
Yeah.
they want to work hard. That's so important.
I don't have to ask them to go do the dishes when there's a small pile of, bread trays and some other stuff. They just go do it. You don't have to ask them.
Right.
That's the culture. That's the thank you.
Yeah.
Culture
is extremely important. That's one thing that I work at General Motors. Mm-hmm. So the culture is terrible. Yeah. We're a union. And so I actually put up a post on Facebook a couple months ago. And it was something about how being union incentivizes mediocrity. And it's so true because I see it every day. Somebody might be like, well, that's not my job. So, or I'm not going to do more because I'm not getting paid more.
Yeah. Not my scope of work, right?
Right. Yeah. Instead of just working hard and doing the best that you should do or do your job to the best of your ability, you're like, no, I don't have to.
Yep.
And I think that's a problem. So I think unions are good, but I also think they're a huge hindrance for business.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep. So I think if you treat your employees really well, they'll want to work hard. Generally incentivizes them.
Yes. It's becoming a family. It really is.
Right.
And
it changes, like what you said, the culture. I think that word is extremely important for the workplace is like, what kind of culture are you providing for the people? What kind of experiences are you providing? Because if somebody doesn't like going to work every day, then that's a terrible culture. That's a place that you don't want to be.
That's not what I want.
That's not what you want. You want to be able to be like,
I've been in that culture. Yeah. I don't want to have anybody else that works with us experience that type of crap.
Right. I think I've had so many jobs, but there's been jobs where the culture, where the work sucked, right? You did not enjoy doing the work, but the people that you're around, your bosses and everybody were so cool to be with. It changed the culture. I enjoyed going to work because the work sucked, but the people were just awesome, and you're all suffering and in the suck together.
Right.
And
at
then
least you can have fun together and
you work as a team.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it changes the atmosphere. It changes how much things actually do suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I really like that you guys do that.
Yep, for sure.
It makes me want to work for Graze Craze.
I'm sure we'll be hiring more people soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you will be.
I hope
so.
I hope.
Well, we're at 56 minutes.
Okay, man. I'm good.
So people can find you all over social media. They can come into the store. Is there anything that you want to promote, website or anything like that?
Nah, it's just grazecraze.com.
Okay.
You can kind of get a view of what we do. There's a lot of beautiful pictures of the food that we provide, and you can order online. You can call us. You can walk in, come in, introduce yourself, sign our guest book. We'll send you a $5 coupon in the mail with a nice thank you.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Concierge service, man.
I love it.
I love it too.
And then you guys obviously you cater and you do weddings, all these different events.
Yep.
That's also on the website.
Yep.
Okay.
You can go on the website. There's a catering request form on there that you can fill out. So I got a wedding, 50 people. Here's the date. Here's the time. And then Lindsay will shoot them back quotes.
Cool.
Different options, different size boards, different kinds of boards, stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, Silas. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
And hope
always
to do
a pleasure, my man.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Cool. See ya.